cutest in the world. No problem. Let's fucking go. Yabba! こんにちは。おー。鈴木みのるだ。どうしよう怖い。どうしよう。
The Wrestling Club with Darren and Brett. We've got a show that you'll never forget.
And welcome to WFMU's Wrestling Club, the only space that's safe for all wrestling fans, whether you're casual, lapsed, obsessed, or ashamed. I'm your host, Darren Maybe, broadcasting from my beautiful little bedroom in Jersey City, New Jersey. Why'd I call it a beautiful little bedroom? I don't know. Look, it's a weird week because it's Weird in Japan, Volume 3 on Wrestling Club. This week, we're going to be talking all the happenings in Japanese pro wrestling. It's Wrestle Kingdom week. There was a Noah show. There's a Stardom show. I bet you we're probably going to have some Japanese wrestlers singing on the show because it wouldn't be Weird in Japan on Wrestling Club without singing Japanese professional wrestlers. So we need to just hop right into it. Let me introduce you to my tag team partner coming to us live via satellite from Hollywood, California. The Power Warrior to my Hawk Warrior, Brett Davis. Brett!
Oh, how's it going, Darren?
I'm doing well. I mean, it's Wrestle Kingdom week, and it's something. I guess that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, shout out to the intro from weirdly former New Japan commentator Lanny Poffo.
Oh my God!
Remember that like 2 weeks where he did that?
Yeah, they made a mistake.
They mistake.
They realized it. They realized.
And we're not alone. It's it's New Year's Eve has come and gone. New Year's Day has passed yesterday, but it is still New Year's weekend. I don't know. It's longer in Japan.
Yesterday was day 1. Today is day 2.
Day 2. So we are in the midst of New Year's, and we're talking about Japanese pro wrestling today with our expert, Dr. Puro. Emily Pratt, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Never signed off on that nickname.
Yeah, I never signed off on that. I'm excited to see who's singing today.
Darren, you said that, and I don't know if we have a clip of someone singing. So you need to pull one.
All right, I'll get a clip of somebody singing for this. I have one actually.
You have so many.
I have one ready, so we'll get that up and going later on in the program.
Yeah, how about we'll end with a song.
It gives me
so yeah, I'll show.
I have trouble multitasking on the podcast, as anyone who's ever watched or listened knows.
Yeah, as do I. It's been a week of news in the world of wrestling.
It's Weird in Japan on Wrestling Club, but first we have to talk about non-Japanese wrestling really quick, right, Brett? We'll do this. We got to get in and out on this one.
But we had WWE Day 1 where Big E learned his worth to the company as WWE champion with about a day's notice losing the WWE championship to Brock Lesnar.
He had hours notice.
Yeah. And I think I read somewhere that he lost more than he won as a WWE champion.
Yeah, that sounds right. It seems like they do that all the time. It's like everything that isn't a title match, you lose if you're the champion.
Yeah, any title win that feels like nice and for everybody.
Yeah.
That's the ones that they just, yeah.
That's why, do I feel bad for Big E? I figure Big E's been there for a long time. He's used to disappointment, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
If not, he should leave. There's probably other places to go, other things to do.
We also had we were just talking before we started about GCW. Darren, do you know who attacked Effie this week?
Effie was attacked?
Effie was attacked.
Wait.
Effie is not fine.
Was it maybe Nick Gage, Matt Cardona?
You think? Yeah, I was just at the show. He sent Matt Cardona packing along with Chelsea Green.
Steam Train? What's that guy's name? Titan Force? What's his name?
It was not Adam Scher.
Okay.
Man Upstairs Isaiah. We have breaking news footage of this. Could we see this horrendous attack on Wrestling Club member Effie?
Effie's coming for the gold at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and there is nothing that you can.
What in the world? The lights have gone out here at the.
Are we losing power?
The lights have gone out.
Wait
slowly.
a second.
Who the?
Holy guacamole!
What in the world?
What is happening right now?
A guitar has just been smashed over the head of Effie. Who is that?
What is happening, Dave Prazak?
It's Jeff Jarrett!
No, not that smile.
What in the world is Jeff Jarrett doing in Game Changer Wrestling?
What is happening right now, Dave Prazak?
Yeah, did either of you two know about this
No.
horrible attack?
Okay,
That's so good.
Jeff Jarrett is now Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Is he still in Bullet Club?
No.
Well, it's for life. It's
Is
for
it
life,
really?
you guys.
That's right, yeah, for life. It reminded me a lot of that big angle they did that really went nowhere.
Yeah.
Where both Jeff Jarrett and Scott D'Amore joined
Yes.
Bullet Club.
Yes.
With a
That
Bullet
owns
Club.
though. I'm so excited for GCW Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah,
That's like an ideal thing I would want to happen in 2022 wrestling, I think.
one
Yeah.
of my
Combine Jeff Jarrett with like anything. I'm excited.
GCW. They could have been. What could have been, right?
What could have been?
What could have been?
It could have been the great. I remember being excited for it, Brett. I remember us being like,
GFW, you mean?
global. Oh, I'm talking
Oh.
about. I'm sorry, I forgot. I thought you were talking about Global Force Wrestling.
No.
They had the Global Force Wrestle Kingdom. What in 2014?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That show is still on my mother's DVR from when I ordered it, and I just happened to put it on when we were there on Christmas, and it's so bizarre. Jim Ross has no idea who anyone is. It's like energy. It's like Bang Wrestle Kingdom. You know what I mean? Like it's just not the. It's a weird
Yeah.
vibe. But Jeff Jarrett in GCW, I don't care. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I hope you guys have fun with that.
Well, let's talk about Wrestle Kingdom, and I think today, because it's so confusing, and especially even since we last did a Weird in Japan episode, which spoiler alert, not a ton of weird stuff, more that Japan is weird right now, because there's so many new owners, so many new crossovers, so many new alliances. So I tried to, for my own sake, just get a glimpse of the overall world of Japan wrestling right now, and hopefully it'll be able to help you. So the two big players right now are Bushiroad, who own New Japan Pro Wrestling, who was founded by Antonio Inoki in 1972 after he left JPW, and Stardom, who was started by Fuka and Roxy Ogawa, the Man in the Hat, in 2010. And then there's Cyber Fight, which is owned by a company called Cyber Agent, who purchased it from Ledet. And
Okay.
we've got Pro Wrestling Noah, which was founded in 2000 by Mitsuharu Misawa after Giant Baba died, coming from All Japan Pro Wrestling. And it's named after Noah's Ark. That was a little detail I didn't know, because he's taking all of his friends to a safer place.
Yeah.
And we got
so good.
DDT,
Combination
which
of
is,
biblical reference and like extreme diss to your former
Oh, yeah.
workplace. It's great.
which
stuff.
is so Japanese wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. DDT, which is founded in 1997 by Sincero Tagagi and Misawa, which then spun out Tokyo Joshi Pro in 2012, and Ganbare, which is a small indie. And Dick Togo and Misawa are the key to making this upcoming working relationship. That's night 3 of Wrestle Kingdom, where we're going to see New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah go head to head. Emily, how do you feel about this?
Good. I'm looking forward in general to seeing like New Japan work with other companies more.
Mhm.
I think it should be fun. Um,
You
I think
follow Noah closely?
I followed Noah like semi closely. They have a
Mhm.
lot of shows, so like I don't know. I don't because I do like the articles about New Japan. I don't. Means I don't like follow anything else as closely as New Japan because there are only so many hours
You
in a
don't get
day,
paid for
basically.
it.
But yeah, like I watched the most recent Noah show. I watched like a bunch of Noah shows this year and stuff. But
Yeah.
like I'll skip a lot of their like undercard stuff. But yeah, I do follow them. But they're really good. I think um feel like I skipped too far ahead. But I feel like the card the crossover show is more interesting if you know who the Noah guys are and the combinations in which people were put together on that card are more interesting than they seem at first glance. But also, I would not buy the pay-per-view, but I would definitely watch it a week
Okay.
later when it comes up on New Japan World and Wrestle Universe.
Now, is there a match on that? Because I have not followed Noah closely at all.
Yeah.
Probably since Misawa died. Really,
Yeah.
like just because, like you said, there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
Are there any matches you're looking forward to on this card more than others?
Yeah, there's two that really stand out to me and I think are probably like generally the most anticipated matches on the show, which are the Congo versus LIJ match, the 10-man tag. The whole thing should be good, especially they kind of set up there are two pairs of like natural enemies in these factions, which are Naito with Kino. Kino is like very uptight, and Naito is obviously himself, very chill troll. Kino is like very angry, so they're a very good pair to put together. And then Shingo Takagi and Katsuhiko Nakajima, who is currently the champion of Noah, the world champion. So they have expressed interest in wrestling each other, and they were both kind of like the super rookies of like Noah for Nakajima and Dragon Gate for Shingo at the same time. There's a match between them in like 2005 or something on some crossover show where it's like, oh, here are our most promising youngins, and now they're both like adult champions of their other company, not other companies, but of companies this year. So that's kind of cool. Also, they're both really good. That's the main thing.
They
So
hit really hard. They're both
they both
scary.
yeah, they're both like kind of crazy people, so it's good for them to be in a match together. And then the other did you, what were you saying?
No, keep going.
Okay, the other one
going.
is the Suzuki Gun versus Sugiura Gun, which is a 6-man tag, which is Taichi, Minoru Suzuki, and it would be cool if it wasn't Taka Michinoku, because I'm sick of that guy, but he is here in this one. And versus Sugiura Gun team, Takashi Sugiura, Kazushi Sakuraba, and Kenta, who returned to Noah on January 1st, like to tag with these people ahead of this match. Which was that match was super fun, like them in Noah versus some like baby faces in Noah. So this like the energy of that team was very good. They have kind of that really good like mean like uncle energy that you get from like middle-aged Japanese wrestlers. And then they're up versus like this Suzuki Gun team. I think this is going to be really good.
I
very
watched
spicy.
They had two bigger shows in the past week or so.
Yes.
Noah did. I watched the year-end one where they had a 6-man that was very fun.
Yeah,
it was all the old. I couldn't recall exactly who was in it because they were all over the place, but it was very intense, very fun. Yeah, it was gosh, who was on that match? Did you see that show? That also
No,
had
I think I just saw the
yeah
January 1st one.
it had Nakajima and Keno in the
Yeah.
main event, which I started to watch, and it went an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
know these people.
Is that
So
that's? I saw the match that everybody was excited about from November. Is that right? Or was it October, November, where they hit each other really hard until the match was a draw? And
Yeah.
I like, I really like Keno. I want to talk more about Congo because I feel, is that what it's called? Congo, right? The
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Like, what is their deal? They seem. Are they in Noah? Is it like an NWO thing? What's up with Keno's hair? It's
Yeah.
so
he looks like
bright
Bill
and-
Dundee.
Yeah.
It's like Bill Dundee.
I mean, these are all like great questions, and they're really part of the confusion in a way is part of the appeal of Congo, that it's like a little bit hard to understand. At the beginning, they've been around for a little while. They're not an NWO thing. They're all like Noah guys. And Keno is from another company, but he'd like worked in Noah for a while before getting this faction. And they are a heel faction, but a little bit less heely nowadays.
Well, they have warring. There's a battle for supremacy within the group
Yes.
that Keno, Nakajima came out
Yeah.
on top of.
Keno, yeah.
Nakajima creeps me out in a way that's like wrestlers rarely do. Like he's truly unsettling. He's got a weird smile.
Yes, he is like a coyote type of vibe
Yeah.
about him.
Good. Keno, I don't know. There's something about Keno. I'd love to see Keno in a team with like Taichi, because
Yes.
Keno's got some pizzazz to him, but he's also like just a, an ass kicking wrestler.
Yeah.
While Taichi has, he's a little bit of an ass kicking wrestler, but he's a lot of pizzazz. I think they'd go really well together.
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
Did you catch this the New Year's Day show that Noah put on? Because
Yes,
it seemed like it was
the one that I watched.
a big show for them.
Yeah, it was good. It was like their they had a show at the Budokan a couple months earlier this year, and then this was like the other time that they their second return to the Budokan, which they had not been able to run for a while because they were in severe financial distress for a while. Yeah. So this was like a really big show. The production was really good of like everything. It was great.
They had a guy singing at the beginning. That was fun.
Singing. Yeah. Love to see a guy singing.
That was the one. That was the one with Go Shiozaki and Nakajima, right? That's the main event.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I saw them have their little promo exchange at the end of that draw between Keno and Nakajima, and it seemed interesting. I didn't realize it was yesterday, though. I'm kind of sad I missed it. It looked cool.
It's if I don't have Wrestle Universe, I could have gotten it, but I was also trying to watch a million other things this week.
Yeah.
But speaking of promos, leading up to this big New Japan show, I did see that they ended the show with a sort of declaration of war on New Japan, and they also filmed these interviews with various members of both rosters, and a lot of them were good, especially the New Japan ones, which the New Japan, well, the Noah guys all seem to be like ready for, like these guys, they think we're nothing, we're gonna show them, and all the New Japan guys are so blasé and so like, oh yeah, it's a cool thing. But Okada's really got me. Just like imagine giggling Okada doing this interview, and I wrote it down. So, how do you feel about going up against Noah? Honestly, nothing much. Okay, this is what we're doing. That's it. I should say I'll beat their asses. We can't lose, but they aren't on this level yet. I have no idea who even wrestles there. I don't know who their champion is. Do Olympic athletes keep tabs on what the local amateur athletic club is doing? I couldn't care less. And then later they said, last year, Kiyomiya said he wanted to wrestle you. If you put it out there, he should have been more persistent. I don't know why he stopped. If he believed, he should have kept at it. I guess that's Kiyomiya for you. A shame. For a hot second, I thought he might have lit things up for Noah. It turns out he's just another name to fill a roster.
Ooh.
It's like real great burns from like a smiling guy. And then they were like, how do you feel about Kejimoto's return? And he's like, Kejimoto wrestles there?
Honestly, Okada speaks for all of us.
That's true. That's true.
That's the weird thing about this New Japan versus Noah show is like the semi-main is Okada and Tanahashi representing New Japan against Muto and Kiyomiya. Am I saying that right, Kiyomiya?
Yeah, that's his last. Yeah.
Which I don't know Kiyomiya at all. I've never heard of him. I haven't paid attention to Noah. But Muto, he's not a... I didn't know he was... Does he own
Spring
Noah
chicken
now or something?
No, he has a 1-year contract with them.
I see.
That started at the beginning of 2021 or something. And it's only 1 year because he's 59 years old. He's very old. He has no knees.
No.
And he cannot wrestle that well. But they did get a lot of buzz by making him their champion for a while. But
That's
also, none of
right.
those matches were good, except I think the one against like the least famous opponent that he had, who is Masa Kitamiya. I thought that one was actually good. I will defend that match against people on the internet who want to tell me it's not good as other matches he had. But yeah, he doesn't own it, but he's like there all the time now, which is kind of weird. But he like hit somebody with a car, I think, in a match. No, somebody set him on fire. He was in a match that involved fire with Keno.
Wait a second.
He's having a good time.
I don't know.
So Muto's doing Inferno matches in Noah spot shows.
It was like Keno like set part of his like shin guard on fire and then kicked him.
Whoa.
So it's pretty good.
That's cool. I can't.
Well, this show is being advertised as a Wrestle Kingdom. It feels more like a bragging rights to me, but Wrestle Kingdom is now 3 days. I think I went on a rant recently about WrestleMania being 2 days. Like, where does it end? So they're calling this a Wrestle Kingdom. It's a week after the Tokyo Dome show. Is it? It's not in the Tokyo Dome.
Nope.
So.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had made
it's after
a
New Year's
name
Dash. Yeah.
For this. Yeah. It's I don't know why they called this Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, I think I do, and it's to sell all the tickets ahead of time. That's why they called it that.
What's next? Wrestle Kingdom Fantastica Mania? Like,
yeah, it reminds me of the like last year they called Backlash in WWE. They were like, it's WrestleMania Backlash, and it's like, well, we all know that it is the Backlash to WrestleMania, but nice try.
More like
that's what
fan Backlash.
Ha ha ha. Yeah. So I wish they would have called this some like cool crossover show name, but
just
they did not.
I like the idea of every year doing this show in conjunction with Wrestle Kingdom, right? Like doing a New Japan versus the World show.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a week after Wrestle Kingdom. I
think it's like it's on like the 8th or something, right?
These guys are getting a little creative. What's on the Tokyo Dome this year? What should we be looking for? What are you looking forward to? I know Shibata's coming back. That's I think what everybody's most excited for.
Yeah.
His opponents to be determined. Do you have any inside info? Who
his opponent is? No.
Yeah. Any wild speculations?
I don't know. It's so hard to guess. When I was watching the Noah one, I know there was a theory it could be Sakuraba, and I was like, oh, that's a good theory. I like that theory.
That is a good
but
one.
I don't think I hope that's what's happening. I don't think that's what's happening.
I mean,
that might be one of the younger guys. Maybe one of the guys from the America dojo. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Sakuraba makes the most sense.
But would New Japan...
Also, why does he wear that shirt? Does he really just have like rash guard shirt?
Yeah.
I don't know. Never mind. That's
He can wear whatever he wants. He could like kill people in real life.
I know.
He can wear
I
whatever
don't like
shirt.
wrestlers who a t-shirt is part of their gear. Sorry, Quackenbush.
The thing about Shibata's opponent, if it was going to be Sakuraba, I feel like New Japan is in a position, like you said, to sell tickets. And
Yeah.
Sakuraba is someone who could sell tickets to the Tokyo Dome. You
Yeah.
would announce him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I heard that rumor too, and I'm
Yeah.
not buying it. I think, a young lion, or I don't know. It's going to be, I think
Shooter.
Yeah. Oh, it could be. Shoot. I guess I don't know. Like to really make a guess about I would have to look at like, you know, show schedules in the UK and
Yeah.
New Japan Strong show schedules. And I did not do that much preparation for this
Hey.
podcast. So
Well, you know, next time, you know what we demand of you.
Yep.
Main event of night one: Shingo Takagi, Kazuchika Okada.
Yep.
It'd be nice to say it's the main event of Wrestle Kingdom, but it's not. We don't know what the main
Yeah.
event of Wrestle Kingdom is going to be.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's the main event of like January 4th Tokyo Dome. So it's kind of the main Wrestle Kingdom main event in that
no,
way.
you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
It's
But
Well,
it should be a great match. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I think the storyline they're doing is dumb, and I've been looking at like Sports Illustrated, other things like people trying to sum it up that are like don't normally talk about New Japan, and it's like almost every description I'm like, I don't think this is right because it's like impossible to understand this stuff.
What is the storyline then? What is the storyline?
It's like so back in June or March, Will Ospreay won the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the new World Championship that they introduced this year. Then before he was going to defend against Okada, he got injured and ended up going home to the UK to recover. Meanwhile, Okada and Shingo had a match for the vacant title, and Shingo won and has held the title for the rest of the year. Then in the summer, Ospreay came back to wrestling on a New Japan show in America, carrying a replica of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship and saying, I am the real world champion, as people in many, many promotions have done before this same angle. Then later, you know, he is not the champion by any definition. He just has this belt that he's been carrying around for like 6 months. And then Okada won the G1 Climax, and he said when he won the G1 Climax that he would like to hold, instead of the normal briefcase with the contract that they have, the fourth IWGP Heavyweight Championship, aka like the classic one that he held when he was champion. So he has not like reinstated this championship or anything. He is just holding the belt basically to show that he's like sometimes saying like, well, it's because I'm the G1 champion. So, but here he's like showing that he is the guy to represent New Japan going into the 50th anniversary, blah, blah, blah. Like he is still the big dog. Like he's just, you know, acting like it, kind of posing like it before.
Like Moose with the
actually
TNA
wins.
Championship.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, just like Moose.
Too similar to Moose with the TNA Championship.
I was
That's
gonna
something
say,
that bothers me a lot.
It's like it's like the big gold belt. you
Yeah.
know? It's sick. Everybody recognizes it, but it doesn't hold any actual value in determining who the IWGP champion is. Okay, so Okada's got a belt, Ospreay's got a belt, and Shingo's got a belt. So
So like the first night of Wrestle Kingdom is, you know, Shingo, the reigning champion, versus Okada, G1 Climax winner, but he's like it's a weird thing where like Okada is being a dick, but also he has the championship belt that people want to return, or like that people generally like more than the new world championship, because they like ended the lineage of the old championship when they instated this new one. And they don't have the cool Hall of Champions video before defenses anymore. So it's kind of a weird thing of like who is, is the more it's like the more sympathetic person with the worst title belt,
Yeah.
and then the less sympathetic person kind of with the better title belt. So it's kind of weird. And then Ospreay is main eventing on the 5th because they're like both, have beef with him, and they were like, yeah, sure, I'll fight this guy. So he like was annoying enough canonically to get into the main event of the Tokyo Dome on January 5th. So that's the storyline around those matches. Like, yes.
Yeah.
I think he's, I don't know. But
That's
yeah,
more Seth Rollins, like, I don't know.
That's
not a fan.
He's like not good at promos, so it's like hard to say. I think he was trying to do a Conor McGregor thing for a while. When he came back, I was like, that's who I thought he was trying to like mimic, but now I don't know because I kind of have not paid attention to all of his promos.
I mean, as great of an athlete as he is, I don't think you can take that away from him. He just leaves a lot to be desired as a functioning human, maybe wrestling. But I mean, I don't know. I guess he's a good wrestler. It seems to me that this is the 50th anniversary this year, right? It seems like Okada's got to win it then. Bring the old belt back. The new belt was definitely a jump the shark moment for New Japan in a lot of ways, it feels like. So you might as well correct history with this dumb, almost non-storyline, it feels like. Just something they backed into.
A cursed belt.
Yeah. And there's like so many like injuries. Like,
I mean,
people getting
Ibushi, the first guy to hold the belt.
Yeah, I was just like talking to somebody else, but like Ibushi's like arc in 2021 was like he became the double champion at the beginning of the year. Then he merged them, made everybody mad by like representing that like corporate decision that people did not like. Then losing that belt immediately. Then getting the chance to challenge again, but he got aspiration pneumonia, so he couldn't wrestle. And then getting to the G1 final, but then getting a freak injury in the G1 final, and now he's like still recovering. So it's like this is like just the worst year for him.
I saw a tweet. I don't know if it was from him or it was just a quote from him saying he has high blood pressure. That's the issue. He puts salt on all his food.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
yes.
Like this is such. I mean, maybe it's a work because it seems like a weird. It's like something Ibushi like he gets lost. He's just got ailments that are like trouble my father. Like my father's gonna get lost on the subway. My dad's gonna have high blood pressure. He's gonna have pneumonia.
Yeah. He was talking about like he puts salt on chips after he it was on a podcast that he was on recently, and they were talking about, I don't know why this, but yeah, he said like he gets lightly salted chips and then he puts some more salt on them. They're like, why didn't you get more salted chips? And he was like, well, I put salt on those too. It's like, okay.
That lines up with the things I know about Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
Large child.
That tracks for him.
Scary little child man.
Night one, we also have Ishii and Evil, Yo and Sho, Goto and Yoshihashi.
Yo and Sho?
Yeah.
Darren, you didn't hear?
No.
Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi and Hiromu and El Desperado, and of course the catch wrestling match with Shibata versus X.
Yeah.
X. Oh, you think it's going to be Dr. X from the Indianapolis territory? All right. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Night two. What about night two? So we've got what's on
better show? We got the Stardom Showcase with Mayu Iwatani and Starlight Kid against Tam Nakano and Saya Kamitani, Great Khan and Sonata, Jeff Cobb and Naito, and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kenta. Better card on night two, I think, overall. Is the Kenta thing, is Hiroshi kind of, is that involve the Kenta jumping ship to Noah?
No, it's unrelated.
Okay.
It's just that they've been kind of like beefing for a while, and what happened? I don't know. Then Tanahashi won the US championship. Kenta had been involved with the US championship in the past, but he never won it. He like won the tournament for it, and then he lost like the title shot to get it. So he really wants it because, well, and then he beat Tanahashi for it earlier this year on Power Struggle, I think. This fall, it was this fall. He beat him for it, kind of surprisingly. And then Tanahashi was like, I'll do anything. And then he's like, to get another title shot. Kenta's like, okay, no DQ. Classic setup for no DQ match. But he really wants to be US champion because like he's really committed to it because he is has been living in America, and he says he's cut some pretty good promos ahead about this, about like he is more American because he pronounced it as a Costco, and he understands what a gallon is like intuitively.
Yeah.
He says like IKEA the way that I just said IKEA, not IKEA.
I'm pulling for him to win and then bring the title to Impact, where he can reunite with the Iconics, whatever they're called now. I love that trio.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I love that
Yeah,
Kenta's
they were so
American.
good together.
I feel like his bragging about his like American. I feel like his perspective of America is limited to Florida suburbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
That is the thing. We've had people on the show that we've kind of gleaned that, yeah, and then we've got night 3, LIJ and Congo, Okada and Tanahashi against the Great Muda and Kiyomiya, Evil and Dick Togo against Go Shiozaki and Maso Kitamiya, Zack Sabre Jr. and Kanemaru versus Marufuji and Yoshinari Ogawa, and the Suzuki Gun against Segura Gun and Kenta match. Yeah, so it should be a fun wrestling to watch, especially the summer dome shows were a little depressing.
Yeah, this one they could have more people in there, so hopefully it's
Yeah.
less depressing. And nobody so far, there haven't been any, like, knock on wood, there haven't been any like freak occurrences ahead of these like there were ahead of those.
Also, we're getting a
shows.
Rumble too,
And
right?
we're getting a Rumble. Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's the New Japan Rumble.
Who do we have? Any surprises? Any predictions? Are we gonna get Fujiwara again?
Oh, I would love it if they did. It would be cool if they did have surprises, because like the last two were kind of depressing, I think, because, well, partly because they were like, like, who wants to see this Yano Chase Owens feud? Oh, nobody.
God.
Like, they did that 2 Rumbles in a row.
Yeah,
that was a bummer. So I hope they do have, anyway, I hope they do have like surprises again. It would be cool maybe if they had some like Noah undercard people could come over. I actually, they're probably doing something else the same day. Yeah, where's Cheeseburger?
Can he get into the?
Yeah.
Or now he's like
Cheeseburger
world
needs to
famous
return.
CB or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also under the Bushi Road, we just had Stardom Dream Queendom. We had the big rematch, Syuri against Utami Hayashishita. Why don't you? Yeah, why don't you say it? Yeah, so Syuri has been such a, we were talked about it last week. I didn't know her full history. That there's the karate, there's the kickboxing, the pancrase, the lucha, the UFC, the acting. She's really, a Renaissance woman, wrestling for 13 years, and then finally coming out victorious with the title, beating Utami, who is also really great and fun to watch. But Syuri has been a big, at least with this most recent thing, she's really stuck out to me. And obviously she had our wrestling club match of the year, thanks to you, Darren. And yeah,
I love that match. I love Utami too. I mean, Syuri's great. Syuri feels like a new like grand boss of wrestling. I don't know. There's something about her style that seems unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's just, I don't know. She mixes all the disciplines so well. But Utami's great too. She's only 23.
Yeah,
23 years old. 23 years old. My mother was still yelling at me to do the dishes. I know it's a sad life I've had.
And then we had Julia return. She looks funky. Konami said farewell.
Doesn't Julia have like a cyber goth thing going on now?
I guess so, which is weird
Oh,
because
is
there's
it?
already a cyber goth faction.
I think it wasn't it just because like it was like Hana Kimura tribute thing
I mean,
for this match.
she looked like Hana
Oh.
Kimura.
Yeah,
And
I think they
Konami
were
did some
both.
Kimura tribute as well.
Yeah.
And a big victory for our girl, Fukigen Death. Love to see that. Yeah, did you either of you see the show? Any thoughts?
I missed it.
I saw the Konami Julia match, but I haven't watched the rest of it yet.
Yeah.
So I was busy.
And what's the starter match on Wrestle Kingdom?
That's I think there's just one, but I could be wrong. Iwatani and Starlight against Nakano and Kamatani.
Now is Starlight still hanging out with those bad kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're both like teams of rivals.
I see.
For the
That's
Stardom.
what I thought, because I knew
Yeah.
Mayu lost Starlight. I know that Starlight was one from them.
Yeah.
So
And then Tam and Saya had the title match on the recent show. I will not say the results since you did not see it. And you see more than
I do have a question. Since we last spoke, Fukigen Death is now carrying a newspaper everywhere. What's up with that?
what?
Do we know? Is it just she had a newspaper in her hand once? Said, I'll do this every week.
I like her thing where she's smoking. She was smoking with like one of the younger trainees. I saw like some gif of that, like them all doing the invisible smoking.
Yeah.
You're just like corrupting the youth. That was so good.
Bad influence.
I've always loved smoking wrestlers. Like that time R-Truth smoked a cigarette, Sandman, but I don't know. There's just some, I don't know. I want more smoking in wrestling. And smoking's bad for you, so I'm happy that Fukigen Death can can scratch that smoking itch I have in my wrestling.
Also under the cyber fight umbrella, we said we had DDT, Tokyo Joshi, my favorite company, just because it's got all my favorites. And at the recent DDT show, or I guess a month ago, we had a Super Itoh Respect Army that we had previewed in the beginning of the show that we've turned into a full music video that you can see it on YouTube. Now it's not just Maki Itoh and Chris Brookes, who is great, but also they added Minoru Suzuki to take on Eruption. This is some of the best comedy I've seen from we reviewed these Mean Gene segments a few weeks back where Mean Gene hangs out with Dick Murdoch and Adrian Adonis, and it just felt so natural and such a great character showcase. And this is exactly that. It's so much fun to just see Maki Itoh's energy up here and Suzuki's energy so low key, and Chris Brookes, who is in like the middle trying to like appease Suzuki, but also he's like sticking with, he respects Maki Itoh. I love this so much. This is Chris Brookes, the ultimate piece of shit in his feud with our wrestler of the year, Lulu Pencil. Really great stuff. Okay, also, my research shows that Ledette Entertainment now has their own UWF and something called GLEAT. That they found
it's just GLEAT. There's just one, and there's a lot of UWF rules matches in it within GLEAT.
Oh, GLEAT. I see.
Yeah.
I know they stole one of my favorite Choco Pro people, Rin, who's now a UWF style fighter, with interesting. But this is Kiyoshi Tamura's company after Cyber Agent bought Noah and DDT. So is this the place to go see that Pancrase style, UWF style fighting, or is it a little too nebulous right now?
No, it's good. They put like all their shows on YouTube. They have like subtitles on everything. It's very easy to watch GLEAT if you just look up like, GLEAT pro wrestling on YouTube. Like they just had a big show on the 30th. Yeah, that was really good and had like, I want to say like 5 UWF style matches and then 4 like more normal pro wrestling matches. And they're like filmed well. They're definitely, yeah, definitely worth watching, I think, or at least like checking out a show or two because they are so accessible. And they have like the Strong Hearts guys. They have, yeah, FKA Andres Miyagi from uh, Sendai Girls and Stardom, who is like a more normal person. Like she's wrestling as like a normal human now.
Mhm.
If people know who this wrestler is, they know what I'm talking about.
So this is the problem with like the shoot fighting style for me is I don't want anybody to be a normal person. That's why
Yeah.
I'm like tune into All Japan, and I'm
Yeah.
bored to tears because
Yeah.
they don't have even the Noah thing. I was watching and I was liking the people, but I was like, well, at least Muhammad Yone has like a cool afro.
Yeah.
All Japan. Anything worth checking out there these days?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not watching it recently.
I feel like I watch a Kento Miyahara match every year, and it's always great. And that's the one I
Yeah.
watch, and then I'm done.
If he were in New Japan, he could be
Or Jake
the best
Lee.
wrestler in the world. Yeah, Jake Lee.
Yeah, I like Jake Lee. But I've heard people recommend their shows because they have great, like, I've heard their shows are great top to bottom. Like, maybe not always the best wrestling, but there's like a mix of like old guys at the bottom of the card that are entertaining, and then, great, Kenta Miyahara main events. They're interesting, but I feel like they don't have, I don't know, they don't have any buzz. No buzz at all. In my,
we got Wrestling Club member Valianaki wrestles there.
Oh, good.
And that brings us to Choco Pro, Gato Move. Emi Sakura still in the US, posting about what cereal she should buy. I suggested Special K. But they now that we are official partners, Wrestling Club and Gato Move, I still love tuning into the Choco Pro. It's very easy to get into. The commentary is often in English, but not always, and usually by whoever's holding the camera, which is usually Aki. But Mei Suruga, we weren't doing a ton of shows in November, and I think we kind of missed the bulk of her AEW excursion as the replacement for Lulu Pencil as Emi Sakura's second. So, Man Upstairs Isaiah, if we could take a look at the Mei Suruga story, beginning with her seeing her favorite wrestler in the world finally.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first the team of Mei Suruga and Emi Sakura.
Wrestling Club member Mei Suruga having the time of her life, getting to sing Judas by Fozzy, which I've seen her do on many live streams, and now finally getting to see her favorite lead singer in person.
Her favorite band.
Well, Fozzy didn't play. She wasn't although she maybe saw one of those weird
she on the cruise?
Fozzy guys. She might have been on the cruise. Dragon Gate, we don't really talk about them ever, but is there anything that you've noticed going on there, or is it just still sort of like, oh, Dragon Gate's still there?
Oh, it's good. It's been good for like the past couple of years.
Okay.
They have like, man, I was not prepared to talk about Dragon Gate. They just had like a good show. Like their last show of the year was good. They they had a really good faction called Masquerade of like kind of younger guys. That is
True. I
now,
did love Masquerade. I watched it
their
about a
eyes
year
wide
ago.
shut
Yeah,
thing.
of
What is
course I love
Masquerade?
that.
What is Masquerade, Brett?
Well, Emily, you could probably describe it better, but
I mean, it was a babyface faction of like mostly kind of younger guys. And their entrance was they're wearing like very Illuminati-esque robes and like masks. They weren't, but they were just like some nice baby faces who were friends. Had some nice like purple matching gear. They were not cult members as far as I know.
they do a nice
I mean, they had really good
synchronized reveal of their taking their
yes.
masks off too.
Yeah. They were like trios champions for a while and they were really good. They had a really
Yeah.
good trios champions team. That was like my favorite part of Dragon Gate for a while. And now they're like imploding and it's very dramatic. So
I should have really paid more attention. I've missed my prime Masquerade years.
yeah.
Because I think
there
when
was maybe 1.5 of them.
Yeah.
now Masquerade's probably over.
I mean that's not even like a synchronized move. It's just two guys doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Ugh, now I'm mad at myself.
Yeah.
It was the last year when I watched Bokudo Dragon, and I was like, man,
Yes.
Ultimo Dragon's not looking so great. And then it's just no, they have two Ultimo Dragons, one who's a big guy.
Yeah. That guy's not impersonating anybody anymore, I think. Oh no, wait, is he? He's not impersonating Ultimo Dragon anymore.
Okay,
But
he's one of those guys.
he's moved on. He's done a couple different impersonations. He was kind of doing a Rikishi thing for a while.
Okay, is he part of that like crew that like the Nakamura impersonator and?
No, that guy's in DDT, so he's not there. But that would have been a good matchup if they had paired off at some point during that time.
Sounds like a dream match to me.
Yeah, it was a dream match. Real missed opportunity for everyone.
This year we had a brand new promotion start with FMW Explosion, Onita's new FMW, because he missed getting blown up. They were part of a DDT pre-show that had Maki Itoh in a high voltage baseball bat, barbed wire baseball bat match, teaming with Onita and a bunch of other people. That was fun. But any other? I've got a list of them: Seed Lining, Basara, Acris Girls, Osaka Pro, Michidoku Pro, 01, Real Japan, Tenru Project, Land's End, Sendai Girls, Oz Academy, YMZ, Active Advanced, Freedoms, and something called Wrestling of Darkness 666. Are any of these highlights that I, as a wrestling fan, should be more aware of?
Oh man, I mean, a bunch of those, it's stuff that I like mean to watch more, and then I don't. But yeah, Seedling is.
I know Seedling a little
cool.
bit. That's
Oz Academy is cool.
Yeah.
Nanai Takahashi, but she's leaving to be a freelancer now.
But that's like a fun.
That's
almost like a mix of all the different companies.
Kind of. They do a lot of, like, I think they have core people there, but they do a lot of exchanges, like basically almost every Joshi promotion does. And Oz Academy is cool. I always mean to watch more of them. I feel like 666 I think would be bigger. I think it would be big in terms of like viral things if they broadcast shows ever, but they're very small and they do not do that.
Yeah,
but
I got
have,
the
like,
vibe.
A guy who's a ghost.
It's Evil, the wrestling company.
It's very goth and I don't know, also very like gay friendly, so people like them.
Darren, this has got to be our next.
But I can't recommend anything because I don't even know what is online from them. I think there's some stuff
like
online
nothing.
probably.
All that's coming up is like who's that one? Damien 666 is coming up via Luchador, so
yeah,
you got to do a little bit of a deep dive.
Yeah.
Lastly, I want to talk about a company I've done extensive research about and still really don't know a ton about. It's a mix of pro wrestling and live music and dance and like martial arts stage combat. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, because you mentioned it in the
Well,
DMs
okay.
about this episode.
All right.
It's MAKAI.
Let's take a look.
Idiot.
Let's take a look at the world of MAKAI. That takes place in the world called MAKAI. Yeah, so that is, it's a very anime-esque. It's almost like a Game of Thrones level. There's just I tried watching a full show, and at the beginning they introduce all the characters, and there's like literally 60 characters that come out. And some of them I'm like, oh, there's Shino, oh, there's like Jun Kasai, oh, there's Shida, oh, there's Syuri. But then like some of them I don't recognize, and it's because they are singers. Or they are, you know, an old man. How would you describe MAKAI? And have you seen it, and do you like it?
At one point I meant to watch more of it, and then I've like barely watched any of it, but I did watch something weirdly similar to it on Netflix, which is a movie called Takizawa Kabuki Zero 2020 the movie. I recommend.
All right, let me write that down.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's like kind of, I mean, that one's like specifically trying to do like a modern kabuki show. But I don't know. I think this is like a whole genre of like, there's like action theater in Japan, which is really, it looks fun. I would love to go see one of these and see people fight with like giant sword and then do a song, and then there's an old man. Like, it sounds good.
Yeah, I watched an interview with the guy who's behind it, who did not take his sunglasses off for the interview.
Yes.
And you know, he talks about how there is a genre of this sort of like fighting theater, but none of them use pro wrestlers, and it does have a great, you know, a better effect for the fighting.
Yeah.
But also like you'll be watching it, and you know, Hikaru Shida has powers.
Yes.
And they will like impose like her like shooting lasers out of her hands, and you know that Nathan Jones popped up in one of them.
Oh my
that was a
gosh.
surprise. The Colossus of Bago Road. You know, there's some dance interludes. It's very, very cool and very much not my thing. But I'm so glad it exists.
Yeah,
Darren, is this sparking your interest?
You know, I feel like it's less sparking my interest and more just making me nostalgic for the old days in my life. I feel like this is the kind of, you know, in my days as a musician, a performing.
You were a performing arts musician, similar to MAKAI. It wasn't symphonic metal, but it was.
No, but I could get into that. I'm down with it. I mean, you know, music's music, right?
Yeah,
right?
Ladybeard's in that. Maybe there's room for you.
I hope so. You know, see, I mean, I got nothing else going on.
Yeah. So if any of what we talked about vaguely sparks your interest, I don't know if we did a good job explaining what it is. You really need to see the visual for it. I apologize if you're only listening on the podcast.
It's very operatic. It's
very operatic, yeah.
Yeah. And theatrical, which is nice. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah. I saw one early match they had with fight they had with Shida and Asuka, the Kana iteration, and it was very much like a pro wrestling show. It
Is that the one
took
where
place in a ring.
Is that
That wasn't no, that was a different thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the one where somebody's playing the guitar.
Yeah,
Not a guitar,
it's take that match, which was who was that? It was
I think that was Mako Satomura. And
Satomura, yeah.
Yeah.
If you take that concept and turn it into a full medieval times stage show, that's what it is.
Well, speaking of medieval times stage show, I did pull up a song for us.
I guess,
yeah. Is this? Could we say that this is our old favorite segment?
Yeah.
Not the one you. Well, at least the Japanese version.
Yo and tell.
Show yo and tell. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It was so loud. I didn't need the soundbite to be so loud.
Really forgot about that bumper.
Yeah. So what I chose because it is Weird in Japan week on Wrestling Club, and we always like to have a song, and maybe we can end with this. This comes from a television show featuring, I believe this is the New Japan version of the NWO. Masahiro Chono, Hiroshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, and Akira, and they're singing a song called "Hey Hey, It's All Right." So I'm going to play it. There's a video too, but
Hey, it's all right. Everything's gonna be all right.
this is Tenzan singing. Kojima. It's Akira.
Oh, Kazenira. Is that where we all join in? It kind of sounds like the Proclaimers.
Live your dream.
I feel really encouraged by this. I feel like I am ready to go live my dream.
I mean, what a great note to start a new year off.
All right. Everything's gonna be all right. That's Chono.
Oh, it was Team 2000.
Team
Oh,
2000.
that
Okay,
owns.
oops, I gotta get out of that. So that was Team 2000. See, I don't know Team 2000. Is that not NWO?
No, it was like a little bit after, but a lot of the same people though, and kind of same aesthetic. So if you saw them, you could easily be confused.
Yeah. Chono aesthetic.
Yeah, Chono aesthetic.
Oakley sunglasses.
Yep.
Did not expect Tenzan to be such an emotive balladeer.
Yes. Yeah. He has a lot of feelings in his very square head. Like it's hard for them to get out.
It's a perfect right angle.
Yeah.
Well, Emily, you are a skilled writer, and you got a great Twitter. Where can people find you and read your stuff?
Oh, thank you. People can find me on Twitter at Emily of Pratt, EMILYOFPRATT, and my writing, most of it these days is on fanbyte.com, FANBYTE.com. I'm in their wrestling section, and I'll have some stuff out related to Wrestle Kingdom soon this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
when it happens.
You know, around Wrestle Kingdom time.
Yeah. Are you so glad you get to watch 9 hours of wrestling at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
for 2 nights straight?
Yes. I love it. My brain is so excited to just be thrown into a different time zone again this week.
And then get thrown back and then get thrown back
Yep.
again.
And then
Wrestle
like
Kingdoms.
within 4 days for night 3. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Well, everything in Los Angeles is canceled, so I don't have any comedy shows to plug.
Yeah,
so I'll just do my common reminder that Maki Itoh, the offer still stands. I in my research about Tokyo Joshi Pro, I know it was founded with the idea that there was going to be no drinking and no boyfriends. I'm not offering that. I'm offering to be a husband so you can work freely in the United States.
Hey, Brett, I have good news for you. I have a special message from Maki Itoh.
What?
About this. Here you go. I'll see if I can play it.
I know this. Big simp energy. Yeah. You're a big simp.
Oh, I think that's a good thing, Brett.
She seems enthusiastic about it. But yeah, it's not a sex thing. It's merely because the offer stands to any Joshi wrestler. Really, I'm not doing much.
Oh boy!
If Aja wants to come over for a Suzuki,
don't worry, Emily. This one's not making it to the feed. Don't worry about that.
Darren, what do you just did your radio show last night?
That's right. Yeah, last night, first one of day one of 2022. I played a lot of new music, mostly new stuff. I also played something new that was very interesting to me. There's a new genre in Thailand called idol gaze, which is shoegaze performed by idol groups. So I played some of that, which is it sounds like shoegaze, but with multiple young women singing over it. Honestly, the effect works pretty well. I don't know the marketability of that genre, but they're going hard in Bangkok with it, so we'll see how it all goes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it sounds like not very different from basic shoegaze.
It sounds like shoegaze.
Yeah,
but it's made by 7.
Sound like Cocteau Twins or something?
Not really. It's more on the 90s side of
okay,
where the more heavily distorted shoegaze, but. It was
the only difference is they have like a Rasti Agawa that make sure up at 7 to practice.
Exactly. That's right. Make sure all their pedals are plugged in. So
so
that's cool. So yeah, midnight Saturday night, that's the way we do it. WFMU.
Well, Dr. Puro, we love having you on.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
Nobody ask for my medical license, please.
Yeah.
I never have.
I lost it.
You talk about your Twitter, you have permission to change that handle to Dr. Puro,
Okay. Yeah. Once I get my new certificate in the mail, then I'll change it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. You're always great. You always give us a new I was thinking about it and just like the first time you're on, it's like, oh, like who is this, and this, and then they become my favorite. So your insight is greatly appreciated.
Yay!
And we'll be back next week with something. It's a new year, new clean slate. Probably do a year in review episode pretty soon. So take a look at that. And Darren, why don't you take us out?
All right, that'll do it for Wrestling Club. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to Emily. Shout out to the man upstairs, Isaiah, Steve D for the theme song, and the fine folks at WFMU Radio. If you dig Wrestling Club, please like, share, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating on the Melcher scale, invite your friends, check out the archive, and follow us on social media. Wrestling Club will return next week live on YouTube with a whole new show, so please check it out. But until then, for Brett, I'm Darren. This has been Wrestling Club. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
The Wrestling Club with Darren and Brett. We've got a show that you'll never forget.